This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Samuel, how are you, my friend?
Sam, or Sam, you just call me.
Samuel.
It's Sam, but yeah, good. I'm good, Parsons. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. It's lovely to see you. What spectacle it's for. Very, very exciting time.
Yeah.
Jack Catterall, the man to your right, has just signed with Matchroom Boxing, and he will be advised by yourself. What a touch. Go on, the boy.
Yeah, mate. Listen, I'm very, very grateful to be working with Jack. He's a great lad, and he deserves great things, and he's going to get them.
Wow, that was very sharp, snappy, to the point. How did it all come about when the phone first rings?
Yeah, no, just activity, mate. That's the reason why this move's happened, because Eddie's promised activity. It's what Jack deserves. Jack's going to fight end of May, start of June, and then quick turnaround, hopefully September, October, and then another one again. He's 3 fights in 9 months for Jack.
Well, I managed to get Eddie and Jack on the same thing, and the smile on Jack's face explained an awful lot. Eddie spoke about activity, relief, absolutely. Main eventing in Manchester, obviously a big Chorley crowd be behind him, supporting him, and also just having the option to be on a lot of big cards to get that activity, like you said.
I think there's been a big void left in Manchester when, say Ricky Hatton days were done, then Anthony Crolla brought some great nights to Manchester. There's a gap there for it, and he's the man that's going to do it.
Obviously, we won't dwell too much more on the whole thing that happened with Josh Taylor. I didn't even bother speaking to it with him anymore, but he put a lot of time and effort mentally into that now. He's now got to move on and cement his own name away from that fight.
Honestly, right? It's one of those things where it's always going to come up in conversation. It's always going to come up in conversation. Everybody watched the fight. Everyone with a pair of eyes watched what happened that night. Jack's the uncrowned, undisputed champion. But I like Josh Taylor. I rate him. I think he's an absolutely fantastic fighter, and he shouldn't be defined on what happened that night. Definitely not, because he's achieved a lot in his career. So good luck to Josh Taylor against Teofimo Lopez. Fantastic fight. Jack will fight either of them. He'll fight all those big names in the 140 division. He's ready to fight them.
Sam, we're here for the weigh-in for Joshua against Franklin. We just had a little chat about it off camera. I won't spoil what you said then. Big fight. Joshua's come in. He looks chiseled, we were both saying. Just sort of a different aura about him this fight week. What do we think?
Yeah, I want to see the spiteful Anthony Joshua. If we see the spiteful Anthony Joshua, he will knock Jermaine Franklin out within 3 rounds.
Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, it is as simple as that. Yeah. Anthony Joshua's a fantastic. People talk of Anthony Joshua as if he's not an elite heavyweight. Mate, he's lost to Usyk twice, and he got hit on the temple against Andy Ruiz at short notice. Fucking whoop-de-doo. He's an elite level heavyweight, mate. If he hits Jermaine Franklin or anywhere on the base of his head, I'm saying it because I'm a good distance away from him, he's falling on the floor, mate.
Well, Franklin's coming about 20 pounds lighter. What do you think about
I don't think that's going to help him.
Sustainable to, if he gets hit with a big blow, he goes down easier?
I just think if Anthony Joshua is his normal, back to his spiteful best, he will knock him out in 3 rounds.
Okay, right. Let me ask you then on that note. Obviously, a lot of people spoke about him mentally maybe being a little bit more cautious. Touched on it with Eddie since the Ruiz defeat.
I think it's an open. I think it's obvious he struggles a little bit in self-belief. And he has to just wake up and realise that he's fucking Anthony fucking Joshua.
Do you think this is the fight that perhaps needs to show it? He's not had a knockout in the first 6 rounds since Eric Molina.
Do you know what I don't like? I don't like when people say, if Anthony Joshua doesn't do this, he should retire. If Anthony Joshua doesn't do this, he should retire. Okay, let's talk about what happens when Anthony Joshua wins the fight. What happens then? Let's get him in big fights. There's a lot of negativity, unnecessary negativity around Anthony Joshua, and he's done the most for British boxing in recent memory out of any fighter.
On a grassroots level, especially, even me just coming up the age I am, watching AJ and what he's done for the sport. Sam, something interesting to point out with this whole Joshua talk. If he gets through this fight here, who does he fight? Because
anybody. Joe Joyce, Dillian White. I'll be perfectly honest with you, I'm not really interested in the Dillian White fight. Listen, it's a great fight if it happens, it'd be a great, but I want him to fight Joe Joyce, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased with Joe. I just think they've not fought before in the pros. It's fresh. It's 2 Londoners. Let's go. Let's do it. Be a great fight.
AJ this week, and you won't say this unless you've been a world champion, but he said, I'm actually I've chased Undisputed for so long, I was getting a bit fed up with everything. You look at Alexander Usyk, he's not even got a fight date announced.
I look at Anthony Joshua there, and he just genuinely looks like he wants to get in the ring, and smash him to bits. And that's what he needs to look like. And that's what I hope for him, because he needs it for his confidence and between his ears.
In a weird way, on the build-up, all of the talk was about Joshua fighting without a world title. But weirdly, this week it seems like he didn't. I don't think he liked that before. I feel like this week he's embracing it, and he's actually enjoying fighting without a world title.
He don't have to pay the sanctioning fees.
Also, the fact that he's saying that, like, when he was a champion, fights just couldn't get made. It was annoying for him. He's now in a position where the world's his oyster, really.
Listen, he deserves this type of showcase. And listen, I'm not disrespecting to Franklin, because he's a decent fighter, but he's not of the same class of Anthony Joshua. He isn't.
Finally, a good friend of yours, Sonny Edwards, signed into Matchroom also. What a fighter.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Sonny, because they can't avoid him now. Sonny Edwards has called out every champion and every man and his dog with a belt. They've all ignored him. Now they can't do it. Sonny's one of the most talented fighters in the world, and I wish. And honestly, I'm really, really happy for him. I really am. I'm very, very happy for him, because now he'll get the opportunities that he deserves.
Sam, you're looking very suave. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. See you soon.
Mate. Appreciate that. Thank you.